Hi everyone, and so today I'm going to post another part of our English grammar course, and we are going to talk about past simple and past continuous. So it's relatively simple topic, and so let's start. Basically, as you may remember, I spoke before about present simple and present continuous, and actually, and especially in stories, we mostly, let's say, use present simple when we speak about some fact, some, let's say, general truth, some state, right? And we discussed and we noticed that there are maybe three possible, let's say, cases when present simple is maybe a good fit, right? And we also use present continuous when we speak about something like let's say process, right? So if we are imagining, let's say, oh, but to say, if we imagine some process like, I don't know, reading Harry Potter book, right? So basically we have the moment in the past when we started it, and we have the moment in the future when we are going to finish. And when we um, really are speaking about this long situations, long processes, it's better to use present continuous for them. And basically past simple and past continuous is very close to this. So let's maybe read what we have here. So we use past simple for completed actions at a specific time in the past, like I bought 3 CDs yesterday. So we see that this, let's say, um, how to say, action is completed in the past because the fact of buying uh, just the action of buying the CDs is completed, right? And we also have this yesterday as a specific marker of time, or we can say completed situations and stated in the past, let's say just without, uh, without specifying exactly the moment in the past, but still we understand that it's something that completed, and it's like in time machine we can move to this moment in the past, right? So I had green hair for a while as a teenager, meaning that maybe now I'm a, let's say, I'm an adult, right? And so when I was a teenager I had this green hair, a green hair, sorry, but now I probably do not, or maybe I do, but no matter, it is the thing when we are speaking about the moment in the past, right? Completed situation in the past. And as you remember in present simple, here as well, we have repeated actions in the past, like played football every Saturday. And also when we are telling a story, right, we should use mostly past simple. So let's say we telling somebody a story, and basically we have to usually use past simple almost every time. I ran out of the house, crossed the road, and jumped on the bus, right? So we are describing some story. This story happened in the past, and we are using past simple here, right? So sometimes I'm saying past simple or past simple, but it's, this American or British English, it's not very, let's say, important. And so if we want to, let's say, speak about grammar structures and how it's organized, we basically um, should use the second form of the verb, which is sometimes just adding the ed, right? Like I appeared and she appeared, they appeared, no matter what the pronoun is, right? For negative, we use this didn't plus bare infinitive or did not. Like in present simple, we used either doesn't or don't, right? So here we are using didn't. And for questions as well, we are just, let's say, transferring um, this auxiliary, let's say, verb did, right, to the beginning of the sentence. Did I appear, right? And so these verbs with um, for the verbs whose second form is uh, developed with is organized with adding ed to the end of the at the end of the verb, right? They are called regular verbs, but there are also a big list of irregular verbs where you should just memorize the second and third part of this verbs. And so basically it's kind of, I am not sure if it is even B1 information, maybe it's even like A1 to A2 level information, but you probably know it if you're, let's say, watching this course. So yeah, for example, for the verb go, the second form is went, right? And the third form is gone or gone, better to say. But here we are using only the second form. And so, for example, for the verb go in past simple, we should use the form went, which will be like this. Inga went to London. Inga didn't go to London. So here we use bare infinitive. So it's go, not didn't went, didn't go. Or did Inga go to London, right? And here, as you see, for the verb to be, we have the specific forms as well, like were or was. And for the negative, we are using were not or weren't, or wasn't not or wasn't, right? And for question, it's the same. We're just starting with this were or was. So that's pretty, a pretty common thing here in English. And also, as you may remember, I spoke about emphatic present simple before, but here we have this same thing, but for past simple. So we can add this did to emphasize our action. So it means that we want to emphasize that this action actually happened or that it's different to what someone else thinks, right? So we are showing our confidence here. For example, I know you don't believe me, but I saw a ghost. I know you don't believe me, but I did see a ghost, right? So it's past simple and it's emphatic past simple. And of course, we cannot use emphatic past simple with the verb to be. Okay, so I think it's kind of, easy, probably. And so let's speak a little bit about past continuous and finish this video. So basically, it's a little bit different because sometimes it's better to use past continuous with, let's say, past simple or in some, let's say, correspondence with past simple. But at the same time, you can use past continuous on its own when you want to emphasize the process, process nature of the action, right? Just like in present continuous, very similar thing, absolutely the same. So let's just read what we are having here. So basically, if you want to emphasize the process, you can do it, but also it's sometimes can be related with past simple structures or sentences related to the sentences. So for example, we can have complex sentence containing two simple sentences inside. For example, an action or situation in the past which was already happening when another action or situation happened. So basically, I was walking down the street when I had a great idea. So past continuous shows this process, which is drawn here, right? I was walking down the street, and somewhere in the middle of this process, something happened. And here it is a great idea moved to his mind, right? I had a great idea somewhere in the middle of the process of walking down the street. So I was walking down the street when I had a great idea, right? Okay, but also it can be, it's very similar to the first one, but here, I mean, it's kind of the same. So an action or situation in the past which is interrupted or stopped by another action or situation, right? So I was riding my bike when I had an accident. So this accident, let's say, stopped the action of riding a bike, right? So here it's shown right there, right? So it basically ended the process. And yeah, so I was riding my bike as a process, and I had an accident as a, let's say, factor, simple, very short action, right? So I was riding my bike when I had an accident. So I mean, you understand that having an accident is a is an action that interrupted or stopped the process of riding the bike, right? Yeah, so that's kind of simple. So you can, let's say, use this two tenses in one sentence. You can, let's say, combine this past continuous and past simples when just the sentence is constructed like this. So you can describe this interruptions, this simultaneous actions, right? By using past continuous for long action and past simple for short action. Yeah, great. So there are two more. So background information and description, not main events in the story, right? So as I said, when you are telling a story, you should probably use past simple or maybe present simple if you're in the present tense, if you are telling a story in the present tense. But if you are speaking, let's say, about some background action, something, let's say, just, not main, then you can use past continuous for this. So we got to the beach at 2:30, which is an action, very specific, concrete action. And here we are using past simple because it's happening with our main heroes, our main characters, which is in that case are we, right? This we. But then hundreds of people were sunbathing on the golden sand when we got there, for example, right? So it means that this is some sort of background process, and we would like to use past continuous here to either emphasize, let's say, long sort of process nature of this sand basin, or just, let's say, to show this background, let's say, idea of this action, but to show that this is not really important, not the main thing, right? And I feel it's pretty natural sometimes because you always have this long happening processes, but not very real. Like, I don't know, raining, or let's say time, let's say clock is ticking, right? Or something like this. Okay, and two unfinished situations or events in progress at the same time. I was doing my homework while Dan was playing his computer game, right? So there are two unfinished situations, two processes, two events in progress happening at the same time. So I was doing my homework, and at the same time, Dan was playing computer, right? So it's basically two simultaneous actions. I was doing my homework, and then I was playing his computer game. Great. And so, yeah, so we do not use past continuous for regular or repeated actions in the past because it's definitely for present simple, for past simple. I was playing football every Saturday is not correct because for repeated actions in the past, we should use past simple, which is, pretty obvious maybe. And so the grammar is easy. So we are basically using the similar structure as we used in present continuous, but we have this past form of the verb to be, which is either was or were. So for you and we and they, we are using were, and for others we use was. Yeah, and we also can add not in the middle of this, between these two, right, to get the negative form, or we can do it in a short form by using wasn't or weren't. And for question as well, we can, let's say, transfer this, word, right, to the beginning of the sentence. Yeah, so that's pretty standard. So I hope you liked this lesson, and see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.